Hello and welcome back to Cultist Simulator with me, Barden. Right, we're here with a priest run, Father Ted. We are working on getting a new place to go on an expedition to, and also trying to get through as many of these books as we can. Okay, let's grab you. Do that. We've how long left? 147. Which means that we're not going to be able to use you, fortunately. Right, so we have two books that have been translated that we can use straight away. That one we translated and it allows us to have back. That'll be another lot of books that we can start translating as well. Okay, there's the erudition we were after. There we get a glimmering. The medicine dark and bitter as tar. It would be easy to suspect I'm being poisoned. Yeah, and Ted is probably thinking that as well, because he's been watching people kind of have conversations, and he's kind of got this paranoid thing that they're all plotting. And maybe he's right, but it certainly is affecting him a little. As yet, I've only the needs and desires of any other mortal, but what stirs in me? And we're not going to try and get rid of that with a mortal or person. Just going to let it run down because we've got enough other things to keep us busy anyway, until it does run down. Okay, so there's the glimmering we're after. Up you there. Let's get these two going. The sick room grows close and stale. Time to get up. Yeah, Ted's been getting sick a lot lately. And I imagine that like other people in the cult would be taking note as well of this. So obviously Enid and Neville would know, because being ostensibly the highest ranking members of the cult beside Father Ted, they would have a lot of dealings with him, so would know when he's not around and why. But then the actual leaders of the different factions in the cult would also know. So the likes of Rose, who's the co-founding member of the cult, likes of Kat, Rhaenyra, Valcine, Auclair, Clovette, those kind of people would certainly be taking notice. Isabeth, I'd imagine all of those would know something's not right with Ted. And if you thought that people were whispering before, there's a lot more whispers going around now. Potentially as well. Some people, although they won't openly admit it, are probably now plotting for the possibility that Ted, this might really get to Ted, and maybe he's either going to have to give up the cult, give up leading the cult, leave as in that, leave the cult completely. Give up leading the cult, but take a back seat and stay within the cult. Or his health is going to be so bad that he's potentially going to die. So with all of that kind of floating around, certainly there would be some maneuverings going on, I feel, with the guys trying to put themselves in a position not necessarily to be the leader of the cult, although many of them probably would want exactly that. But at least to control whoever is going to be made leader. Because looking at the cult structure, you have a few people who would be maybe, would be logical choices for it, but we'll talk about that in a sec. Entering the White Door. Last night in the great pavilion above the grey sprawl of the bounds, a woman who once called herself Theresa Galmier sat on the gilt-fringed cushions and offered me a horn cup of dream wine. The wine is imaginary, she explained, but the cup is not. To navigate the mantis, one must understand the distinction. Perhaps one day you'll join me on the pilgrimage, or I'll join you. So here, let us share a secret. And a breath tickled my ear. Okay, so it's not a secret we'll be doing much with. Pop it up there. Yeah, so the obvious people to take over would be one of either Enid or Neville. Probably people leaning towards Enid because she has those visible scars for all to see, and I think because of that, people rightly or wrongly would see her as being more committed than Neville to the cult. So she'd probably, of those two, would be the next in line, as it were. But also then you have to consider Rose. So Rose is Rose founded a cult with Father Ted. So she may feel a little aggrieved about that, but we know Rose likes to pull strings. Doesn't necessarily like to be a leader. She likes to be an influencer, and she probably would rather someone like Enid or somebody else that she feels that maybe she could have influence over would take up the reins of the cult if Ted is gone, obviously. Then you have someone like Rhaenyra, who would be seen as a very strong member of the cult, and a lot of people, if Ted were to leave or to die, she would be someone who people would rally around, and she could definitely give the cult direction and drive. Then you have someone like Kat, who, again, potentially could step into the shoes of Father Ted. She'd be a bit more calming compared to some of the other candidates. But definitely a strong one there. Then you've got, the likes of Claire, Valsine, and Isabet. Those three, they might actually decide that having one leader of the cult, maybe worked when Ted was around, but maybe it's not the right thing for going forward. And maybe the three of them would form their own kind of committee above the rest of the cult, if they were to take over as well. But yeah, it certainly is. There's a lot of speculation going on at the moment, and Ted feels like it's not that bad. He's been sick a lot lately, but it's each of the instances were pretty easy to get over. It wasn't anything that he felt was life-threatening at the time. But trying to convince some of the others of that is a little more difficult. The mirrors are calm, the sun is steady, the glow recedes. I'm sane, if that means anything. But yeah, Ted probably needs to show everybody that he's in good condition. But the problem he has with that is, to do that, he needs to be seen by the people, and he's got this plan. He's got this plan in his head that he is going to study, and that means that he's going to be around less at a time when he probably needs to be around more. Got some nice erudition there, that's good. In last night's stream, I was in the lodge of the Sage Knight. behind the white door. It is difficult to remember exactly how I came there, and the mistress of the place. The woman with the dark glasses was nodding as if I had asked her a difficult question. Of course I hadn't. I lost my speech when I passed the white door. How is it that I can speak? She said to me. I didn't come here through the white door. I'm not proud of what I did to come here. So let me tell you about something else. Okay, so we've got some erudition we can use. It's good. But yeah, he's got this kind of conundrum going now where, you know, does he commit himself to the study that he decided was so important? Or does he look at things and say, maybe I need to solidify my position in the cult a bit more? But I think for now, what he probably would do is he'd probably call someone like Cultist along and tell Cultist, listen, I'm going to be away for a while. I'm still going to be around. I'm just not, you're not going to see me as much as before. But this is, you know, I'm not backing away from the cult, whatever the rumors say about my health. What I'm actually doing is I'm trying to increase the lore that we have here in the cult, to get more knowledge, to be able to progress the cult and progress the things that we've talked about before. And you know, someone like you is very important to this. And right now, what I need is someone to be there and to not necessarily defend me, but to just remind everyone that, you know, what it is I'm doing and why it is I'm doing it, so that things don't get out of hand. And Cultist mentions that she'll certainly do that, but what she'll also do is she's going to talk to a few other people, the likes of Dorothy, Tristan, and Slee, and have them do the same thing as well. None of those three are particularly seen as being powerful within the cult, but they do kind of share the thing that they're people who can kind of get along with more people than others because they're not seen as a threat. They don't seem to have much ambition for themselves, and because of that, they can maybe speak to people from other factions where, you know, those who lead the faction they're in wouldn't be able to. Ted likes the idea of that, and he kind of almost congratulates himself on his idea to talk to Cultist. But then also, I would imagine that he would also ask Rose to come and see him, and with Rose, he would explain the situation to Rose, but not make the same request that he did to Cultist. Instead, he would just explain it and hope that Rose would understand, and it would maybe get her thinking that plotting against Ted is probably not the best idea. But this is Rose. Rose will probably give him assurances, but she's not going to stop plotting because that's what Rose does. But the plots will be as a contingency rather than as a plan A. Okay, so last night I visited the lodge at the stage. Night, my hostess manifested as an elegant woman with fashionably short hair and dark glasses. No, she admits, I don't need them any more than I need eyes. Allow me my sentimentalities. But you've come for knowledge, I expect. Here's a story I heard in my Kerisham days. You're welcome to it. Only remember me if you come to make the pilgrimage. So we grab that. Okay, that's good. Right. Let's get in there then. Do that. Okay, that's done. Now, what we're going to do is work on combining those two. We got the erudition. We're going to have to find the glimmering from somewhere. We're hoping from the mansus. So 2 books to study, then we have 4 books to translate, but then that will give us back, which will allow us to translate some more books as well. And what we should probably do is organize things here. So Scholar Latin is going to go there. Just going to start moving things up to where I feel they should be. Up you there. Yeah, then Scholar Vac can go down there. You guys are written in Frisian, so you come down here. Yeah, okay. Makes sense. At least as much sense as anything makes. Okay, glimmering, please. No, oh, it's over there. Okay. Last night in the billowing blue of the lodge of the Sage Knight, I sat on velvet cushions and watched 2 dead contend with shining swords. They came at the place, said the woman who rules her now. The one who once called herself Gamie. I was not the Sage Knight, if that's what you're wondering. He went higher in the mansus long before I came here. My attention is drifted. The swords sparkle like falling water. The dead move like dancers. Okay, grab that. And we go straight back in. Still after that glimmering if we can. Okay, so we've got some fascination there, but the dread is going to help it as well. The sun flickers like a shadow. Dreams ripple behind the surface of mirrors. I must be careful not to drift from the waking world. Okay, you provide the erudition that you are requesting. Okay. Let's find any books that are in back. Another one. Okay, you. Here we go. Paintings whisper. Windows wink. I know these things are not true, but how can I be certain? Okay, come on, glimmering. Oh, again, it's over there. Okay, I gotta try over there next time, I think. Last night I dreamt of a blue silk pavilion overlooking the cloudy labyrinth of the bounds. I listened to the mistress of the place speak of other visitors. The Suppression Bureau come here. Did you know that? I think they hope to recruit me as an ally. She snores derisively. After what they tried to do to Christopher, their folly is your fortune. I will tell you something that may help you, if the Bureau ever troubles you. Okay. So, pop you up there. Now, get back in here. Now, it's going to be interesting this time because I know I want to switch to the left, but it's possible that if I switch there, it's going to be on the right. So we switch to the, was it the Orchid instead of the tent or wherever it is, yeah, or the pavilion, could be bad. Some days are better than others. Sometimes the sky is nothing like a filthy sheet. Sometimes the river runs clear. Okay, go sit there. Mirrors are calm, the sun is steady, the glow recedes. I'm sane if that means anything. Oops. Okay, up you there. My own heart pumps more strongly today. Nice vitality. Oh, damn. That's not good. Got all about you. That passion on the go. Oh. It's going to be there, right? But we've got to do it. Oh, there's an addition there. Okay. It's not so bad. Last night I walked in the Orchard of Lights. I plucked the fruit, which is always ripe, and consumed it in 2 bites. Taste is not to be forgotten. As I licked the glowing juices from my fingers, I saw a message carved in the bark of the tree. When I woke, I recorded the message. All I could remember in my diary. Okay. Right, so those two are going to go there. We're going to put a passion there and get that glimmering that we need. And now that we're getting the glimmering from there, I'm sure we'll get another one from here because it just seems to be how it works sometimes. Get a glimmering, combine those, we'll have another one there. We'll then leave it and we get back to these. Dark days. I must be careful not to let trouble creep in. Okay, well, let's try and fix that. In tonight's performance, Amethyst. Annette Wheeler Hunter pursues a veil-winged woman through a murmuring maze of leaf-clad dancers. Each movement is underwater slow. Okay, get you going. We'll get back up to 3 per shift. The lights go down very gradually as the performance ends. There's no applause. Each drift into the street, alone with our dream. Okay, this is going to be a glimmering. Yeah. See? Don't need it anymore, so we get one. I recall my dream. This was the lodge of the blue silk, flapping in the wind of the bounds at the mantis's edge, and here was his mistress, who welcomed me as she welcomes all travellers. Company is nice, she confided, but I still miss my Christopher. 10 years are not enough, but we could not have been long together, not without touching each other. And you know what occurs when a man lies with a long woman. Perhaps you don't. I hope you don't. I won't tell you, just in case. I will give you a tiny gift. Okay. Let's grab that. So now we have Fascination, that can go there. Contentment has been taken. And we have 2 Glimmerings that can go here. Right. Both of those there. And when they ask, they can have either one of those 2 Glimmerings. Now, let's get going with this again. No, not yet. Okay. How long do these have? 43 and 41. Okay. Because we used one to get an addition, right? More fascination. Okay. We've seen that one. Be there. As yet, I've only the needs and desires of any other mortal. But what stores in me? Okay. Be there. Dove of despair prowls elsewhere. My own heart pumps more strongly today. Okay, another vitality. Let's sit here. He's on the hunt, but we don't need to worry about that. That was about to finish finally. Now I understand. Good. That's what we need. Lots of understanding. Another favor from authority. Have that. Pop that up there next to the one that's already there. Get this started again. Okay, you're done. You can move there. So again, we want to get it to this rank here before we actually do anything with it. I'm going to read you now. The Iron Book. Members of the Ordo took an oath, the Iron Chain, that required them to remain hidden from the world. This manual includes, presumably, long obsolete addresses and past phrases that could have been used to find the Ordo's contact in the town of Iria. Okay, do that. Right, so you're potentially going to give us something to use that with, or a reason to use that. I'm safe for now. My adversary is not enough evidence to bring a case against me. They found no new clues. We'll grab that as well. We'll start reading again in a little while. Just don't want to be rereading stuff too much. Okay, and then get back in here. When it's done, we're going to have to look after that as well. So that should probably go there. The affliction, that is. This illness damaged my health. I'll need to rest before I'm fully recovered. The final part of the manual describes the punishments for Ordo members who break their oath of secrecy. This includes an invocation used to summon the spirit called King Crucible as an agent of vengeance. Yevgeny cautions that this must be a last resort, when the oathbreakers would otherwise go unpunished. Summoning King Crucible might draw the personal attention of the Forge of Days. Okay, candidate invocation. Right, get that. Then you can go there. It's pretty nice. Right, let's get this going and then we'll study another book. Up you in there. The Silver Book. Members of the Ordo took an oath, the silver chain that forbade men to lie with women, or women with men, for what may come is not always the crime of the sky, yet that is a furious danger. It was apparently permissible for men to lie with men, and women with women. In fact, Burgash suggests that should be encouraged to distract from other temptations. Okay. Run it on. Got you there. We'll read this one. It's been a while since you got one of these. Last night I visited the lodge of the stage knight. My host manifested as an elegant woman with fashionably short hair and dark glasses. No, she admits, I don't need them anymore. Any more than I need eyes. Allow me my sentimentalities. But you've come for knowledge, I expect. Here's a story I heard in my Kersham days. You're welcome to it. Only remember me if you come to make the pilgrimage. Okay, collect those. Okay, that's good. Right, so something we should do, though, is we still have we still have items over here that we haven't done. We should probably make our way through some of these. So let's start. Actually, let's pop you there for a second. Let's work on you. We may have missed the chance to use vitality there. Okay, so put that back. And now let's put it in there. Okay, so Neville will lead us there. Eldridge is going to go as well. And then we're going to pay funds required. And this, now Ted is just thinking, we're trying to build up to this really big expedition. But again, he's got to keep people busy. So he's going to be sending them to these easier places to go to. Just to keep things ticking over. Make sure that they don't kind of fall out of the routine of preparing for expeditions and, you know, supporting it and all that kind of stuff. Yeah, so he's gonna get them going on these smaller, easier ones. Beneath the surface of the lake, or in some cliffside nook, perhaps some relics remain for us yet. Okay. Do that. And all the while, we can be working on these. Okay, they're going to need something in a second. Our expedition plans for next challenge. Okay, so let's send Victor along. We're going to have 12 edge. That should be enough to deal with them. The Silver Book. The manual prescribes potential countermeasures to protect those who might be tempted to go against the oath. Mass, disfigurement, severe poetic disciplines. Those who do break it are to be punished with death, although there are lesser punishments prescribed for various acts that don't involve actual coitus. An invocation is included which was used to incorporate those punishments into summoning rites. Okay, so we got the Menascate Invocation. Interesting. Right, now let's translate you. Lock the study door. The work begins. Okay, good. Run that up. The sick room glows close and stale. Time to get up. Okay, so Ted is back up from his sick bed and getting the guys out on that expedition. I'm going to pause that for a second. Mirrors are calm, the sun is steady, the glow recedes. I'm saying if that means anything. Okay. Well, not saying enough to not move that, apparently. The serpent's mouth is large enough to crouch in. Its tongue is the thickness of a man's shoulder, but almost certainly it will respect the power we bear. Okay, good. You could send Rose. Let's actually send Rose along. That will get us up to 17. It won't really make that much difference, but you know, sending Rose is just, you know, something that Ted kind of almost as an afterthought. Ted thought, oh, I should actually send Rose along, just to send it a signal that, you know, these are important to us. You know, Rose wouldn't be there if this was just some easy jaunt for you guys to do. It lowers its great head. Moisture seeps from its lidless eyes. It is weeping. What does it remember of its elder sister, whose power we call upon? Okay, seems like we did well there. Okay, got another book done. I prepared the text for study. Good. Acquire some knowledge of back. Do the hours speak? If they do, this may be the language they use. Interesting. Okay, now we are going to send along Rhaenyra as well. I'm going to make it very clear that this is not just a distraction. This is considered important work for the cult. There's a lovely gurmling for us. We'll collect those. We'll read that maybe the next time we get it. I'm safe for now. My adversary has not enough evidence to bring a case against me, and I found no new clues. Excellent. Okay. And then, let's see. Yeah. Can actually call Dorothy in. And first of all, explain the usual thing that we've been asking Leo to do a lot, but we want her to go and we want her to clean up any evidence that's there. But also, we would like her to give us an update on what Clovette talked to her about. And she maybe tells us that, yeah, there's, most people in the cult, look up to us. And even those who maybe, have been plotting for life without us, would probably prefer that we were there, at least the vast majority. So kind of Ted is probably a little bit assuaged by that, and we're happy that we decided to use Dorothy this time rather than Leo, as we always do, or for that Clovette before she got her injury. Now we wait to see whether she can deliver. It has been said that one does not learn back so much as come to know her. Well, now she and I are a little better acquainted. Scholar of back. Beautiful. So we put you down here. Okay, so it's these three. Goes over, so we've got 6 to be translated. Let's actually start with some of this. Start with the Frisian. Let's not jump ahead too much. Start with the Frisian, and then we'll do the back after that. Okay. The chapel crypt is flooded, and the water soupy with old corpse matter. But at last we bring up a wax-sealed coffer. 18th century? No older than that. Let's see what's within. Okay, so we have the notoriety. You would be there. Then we have witch-kissed oil. The formula remains unchanged since the days Hecate was worshipped at the crossways. Okay, so you go there because you are lower level. Actually, you can go down here, right? Okay. Hang on, no, you actually have 8. But 8 hearts, so you can go there. Right. The Orchid Transfiguration, Volume 3. A 16th century alchemical fever dream attributed to Robert Flood, frequently banned for disturbing allure of its illustrations. This is in the original Latin. Okay, well, you can go here. No, actually there, because you need to be translated. those indignities perpetrated by deceitful fraternity of the Obliviates. This book is as famous for the near incoherent fury of its tone as for the knowledge it contains in Latin. Okay, so copy there. Good. Continue on. And now we're going to go to Lockwood Fen. This time so who's going to lead us this time? This time we're going to send Violet as the leader. And along with her, we're going to send Saliba. Okay. And again, it's just about kind of spreading the responsibility around the cult. Making sure that everybody and every faction feels like we are considering them for important jobs. Out into the Mudlands, somewhere, we are certain, is a shrine bedecked with precious oddments. If the locals try to kill us, we are probably heading in the right direction. Okay, let's start that. Okay, we've read that one recently as well, so we'll pop that up there. Okay, grab all of this, get you going again. Our sufficient plans for the next challenge. Okay, well, it's fighting these guys, right? They can be fought, seduced, or deceived. Okay, let's fight them. That's our usual answer, right? My own heart pumps so strongly today. I prepared the text for study. Optimism is the spice which saves. Okay, good. Well done, Dorothy. You've really pulled through for us in more ways than one. Sucking mud, tricksy fissures. The earth is hungry. We need lantern to show us a way, or forge to make one. Okay, so lantern or forge. We don't have either. So Cat is going to go now and give us some lantern. Double despair prowls elsewhere. Some days are better than others. Sometimes the sky is nothing like a filthy sheet. Sometimes the river runs clear. Okay, let's see. Just nab you. Many of the dead enter the mantis through the white door. They wander its corridors in silence until they are lost. Some embrace each other, some devour each other, some force their way into the dreams of the living. A few record their memories on the mantis stone, where it is soft. They scratch it with their nails, you see. Last night I read one of those memories. Okay. A promising route reveals itself as a sucking snare. You'll have to go around and try again. It's not good. That could be an injury for someone. Listen, Pope buddy. Apparently Cat and the rest are in trouble. I need you to get out there, sort it out. It's a 10 lantern out there. Should help us get through. Oh, we do have vitality there as well. Interesting. So for now, we can go there. Take you again. We just read that, so let's not read it again. But we can get straight back in. The Watchman will clear our sight so that we can almost certainly pass without error. Good. Send some more funds. Okay, let's get this started again. Mirrors are calm, the sun is steady, the glory recedes. I'm sane, if that means anything. Okay, so we got you, but we have 2 vitality sorted out as well. We're mud spattered and thorn scratched, but we made it through. Good. And you are translated as well. Okay. Let's go here to the next one. Okay, making real progress now on these books is good. Especially these higher tier ones. Again, though, it's kind of the study. Study is the bottleneck for us. A lot of stuff has to go through there for us to make progress. Let's go here. Okay. Go there. Pause for a second. Okay, what have we got here then? Archvision plans for next challenge. Okay, so it's going to be some fighting. Elridge is always up for fight. Let's send him. That gives us 10 edge there. Next time we get a chance, we'll send some funds as well. Deal with you. So we'll get you started before we end the episode today. It'll probably be the last thing we do is to get that started. Other things about to resolve. The illness has damaged my health. I need to rest before I am fully recovered. Okay. Oh, we've got you as well. The Watchman will almost certainly regret standing against us. Good. Now, let's send Valcine along. Collect those. Get you started again. Pop that there. That's about to be done. Can use those 2 together then. Lovely fascination. Collect that. Pop it there. Okay, and that is where we're going to leave that one. So hope you've enjoyed. Hope you're keeping safe out there, and hope to see you next time. Goodbye. I hope you enjoyed this video. If you did, maybe consider hitting the subscribe button there on the right, or checking out some other videos here on the left, or perhaps you might even share with some friends.